What's groovy, y'all? I'm Donye.
And I'm Marcia, and this is the
Hey Sissy Podcast.
Go Sissy, hey Sissy, go Sissy, hey Sissy.
Peace to the haters,
Go
bye,
Sissy.
see you later.
Hey,
You my
Sissy.
road dog,
Go
sis,
Sissy.
we are greater.
Hey,
Holding
Sissy.
it down, and
Go
you know we stay
Sissy.
true.
Hey,
Fam
Sissy.
to the end
Go
is how
Sissy.
we do.
Hey,
Fam to the
Sissy.
end
Go
is how we
Sissy.
do.
Hey,
Fam to the
Sissy.
end
Go
is how we
Sissy.
do.
Hey Sissy, go Sissy, hey Sissy, go Sissy, go, 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 go.
We the bomb, let's go, sissy.
Hey.
We the bomb, let's go, sissy.
Hey.
We the bomb, let's go, sissy.
Hey.
Hi, Diane.
What's up?
What are we talking about today?
Hey,
Why you say it like that? Say it one more time for the people.
hair.
Hair.
You supposed to pet your weed too?
Oh,
I mean,
pat
but
your
this
weed,
weird.
baby. Pat your weed, baby. Pat your weed. Okay. What do you want to talk about with hair?
Everything.
Okay, where would you like to start?
All right. So, let's. I know there's debate that comes up when it comes to the idea of good hair and bad hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts about that?
There's no such thing as good hair and bad hair.
I agree.
There's just hair.
Mm-hmm.
Hair is hair.
So, why do you think where do you think the stigma behind good hair or bad hair came from?
White supremacy.
Oh.
The answer is always white supremacy. Essentially, what is considered good hair is always hair that is closer to whiteness. So, obviously, white supremacy. Yeah, because if you're biracial or have any kind of Indian in your family or something like that, then you may have a looser textured hair, which some people would consider good hair. But it's just looser textured hair.
Right, that's true.
And then bad hair is, of course, associated with people who have African-like hair, which is basically what's stereotypical African, because Africa is a giant continent with numerous types of people with numerous types of grades of hair. But here we are. But anyway, basically people who have the tighter textures, kinky coils, which would be considered less manageable, is considered bad hair. But it's just tightly textured hair.
I think really, honestly, every kind of type of hair comes with its own a bit of a struggle to dealing with it.
Challenges, yes.
Yeah, even though some people may have straighter hair, sometimes people with straight hair, their hair tends to break off quicker, and their hair sometimes tends to be thinner. I notice a lot of times.
It depends, yeah.
Yeah, true. I personally have a curly kind of braided hair. I'm not sure the specific type or whatever, but
if I had to guess, I'd say you probably have a 4A or 4B hair.
oh, okay. I don't really know. I haven't seen my curls in a while, so I don't remember. But yeah, I had that kind of curly kind of hair. It still was a little difficult to manage, but sometimes I wouldn't really take care of it. Things like that. And I have really frizzy hair. My hair would be super frizzy even now. With me trying to get locks, and I finally saying you guys, my hair is very frizzy and very stringy and things like that. So
you also have a fine texture hair. Fine just basically means your hair strands are thin.
Okay, and what type of hair do you think you have, or do you know what type you have?
I have a combination of 4 B or C and straight in the front. I don't even know what it is. The front just be it looks curly now because I flat twisted. I did a flat twist out, but if I just washed my hair and let it dry naturally, the back would curl up real tight coils, and the front would just be wah, wah, wah.
Oh, because you will flat out in the front?
No, I think that's just my hair just comes out naturally straight in the front.
Really?
Yes, because okay, so a little background on my hair.
Okay.
So I used to get perms from a kid, most black kids.
Yep.
Your parents permed your hair
when you was a little kid.
Yeah. For whatever reasons. So yeah, but then I guess in my senior year in high school, me and Nikki were perms don't really work on your hair, so we should just stop that. So we did, but I did straighten my hair all throughout college and grad school. and then I stopped. But I was natural, but I was straightening it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I stopped straightening it and started actually doing natural hairstyles.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't straightened my hair. I got a silk press, 2 silk presses last year, but even before that, I hadn't straightened my hair for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I trim my hair often and all of that. Hair in the front is still straight.
Still straight. So what do you think it means to be natural? Because I know there's kind of different ideas about what it means to be natural. Does it mean like you're not putting any heat in your head, or you're not putting any chemicals in your head, or what is the idea behind natural? Because some people seem to think that when you put like chemicals and things in your hair, that your hair is not really necessarily natural anymore, because you're kind of manipulating it to something else. So
yes, that's essentially what natural means, that you're not chemically manipulating your hair to do something that it's not supposed to naturally do.
So that we dyed our hair, is our hair still natural?
Some people would consider it not to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some people take the whole natural, like actual, like let your hair do what it's supposed to do on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just consider natural to just be like you're not chemically straightening your hair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it just depends on who you ask. But essentially, it's more so when the natural hair movement started,
Mm-hmm.
the movement was to get people to go away from perming your hair to embracing your natural textured hair.
Right, so even though you may still flat iron it, as long as you're not putting any perms or relaxers in your hair, you're technically considered natural still. Or no. Or just like no heat, no perms, no relaxers.
Depends on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask. That makes sense.
Because straightening your hair is considered manipulating it
Mm-hmm.
to do something it's not supposed to do.
That's true. So do you think putting product in your hair takes away from it being natural as well?
No,
No,
because you have to keep your hair moisturized.
that is true.
And the way to do it is with products. You gotta shampoo your hair, condition it, style it. That's products.
So you guys actually comment down below, like, what do y'all consider to be natural? Like no use of heat and things like that, a little bit of it. So what do y'all consider to be natural and not natural?
Yeah, because if we think about it,
Mhm.
I mean, we all manipulate our hair to do something it's not supposed to do, essentially.
Right.
Like you getting locks.
Mhm.
Your hair wouldn't naturally lock up on its own. Or if it did, it would take a lot longer to do what your hair does now had you not formed it into locks.
But I think nobody's hair just locks naturally.
Some people's hair is gonna be easier to lock like natural. Like if you stopped washing your hair and let it literally form locks naturally, freeform, it would be different than what you've done now. So even this could be considered some form of manipulation
That is true.
because you're not allowing them to freely form.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, even my flat twist out. This isn't my like natural. My hair doesn't naturally curl like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is manipulation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I know. I started cutting my hair in high school because the back of my hair would be really curly and the front would be straight, and I wanted all my hair to be curly. So my senior year, I did like the big chop,
Mm-hmm.
and I cut my hair real short. I was still flat ironed it, unfortunately, like wearing a cute little style and everything. But then I stopped doing that, and then I just started like letting the natural curl pattern kind of come back and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my little. I prefer short hair. I like short hair.
Yeah, I like the length and stuff my hair is now, but I do want to go back to straightening it.
Oh, why?
I miss when my hair was straight.
Mm.
I wore it like that for a very long time. I like the natural hair,
Mm-hmm.
but also this takes a lot of work and upkeep.
True, that is true.
Because when I was in college, baby, my hair was the longest it had ever been, and I would wash it and straighten it once a month and just keep it moisturized and wrapped. And my hair grew so long,
Right.
down my back. But now my hair still grows fast, but now this is a lot of work. Trying to be natural. I was like, yesterday I washed my hair, and I was like, what do I want to do? Do I want to do some twists? Do I just want to do flat twist, straight back,
Right.
2-strand twist? Do I want to do a wash and go? This thing, like,
probably look so different now.
Oh my gosh, we be trying to do our little tripod with this little light ring light on
And
thing.
it don't
It
be
be
lasting.
lasting 10 minutes. I don't know what to do.
So sorry for the lighting change, you guys.
Yeah. Anyway, But I finally settled on
They
doing
probably can't
like,
even see us.
they know they can. We just gonna look shadowed.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I mean, we could turn like this.
LOL.
But yeah, so I ended up just doing like some little flat twists, but with 2-string twists at the end, so I didn't like do it all the way back. But anyway, here I am. It's cute. I like it.
It is.
But it's a
lot.
lot. It's a little work.
And I think sometimes that stereotype that black women who wear like weave and things like that, they have this idea that black women are bald-headed.
Oh yeah.
Which is very inaccurate. It's just like you said, maintaining that kind of natural hair is very tedious and comes with a lot of work. And so sometimes kind of managing it and maintaining it can get a little tiresome, and you just want to put something in quick so you can get up and go and things like that.
Yeah, and actually wearing weaves and sew-ins, if you take care of your hair, is actually better for your hair because it is less manipulation. Less of you touching your hair, combing it, doing all these things to it. You actually allow your hair to rest, and you're less likely to have breakage and all of those things.
But also be careful with the braids, because you know now they kind of get into what's called knotless braids, I guess, so your hair don't be you pull back so tight and things like that, which I think is good, because you know wearing them tight braids will be pulling your edges and things like that, breaking your hair off.
But I mean that's only just one part of it. Again, you gotta, when you're getting your hair braided by a stylist, don't let them do that to your edges. You need those. But also, knotless braids, that's one way to protect your edges. To do chunkier braids is another way to protect your edges because they don't pull so much on your edges as much as small braids do. But yeah, doing a sew-in or a crochet hair in, that's actually Jesus
Bless you.
Thank you. That's probably better for your hair anyway than being natural.
So, how do you feel when like a white person tries to get braids and stuff like that? Does that bother you at all, or because you know how there's a whole debate about it and things like that?
It bothers me because it's nonsensical.
Is that a word?
Nonsensical is a word.
Oh, all right, new
Which
word.
basically means that it doesn't make sense for a white person to braid their hair because your hair doesn't do that. Well, it does braid, but the way it happens is braiding is again a protective hairstyle for black people.
Right.
It minimizes manipulation and all that. That's not something that white people have to worry about. Especially because they have to wash their hair more frequently than we do. We can't wash our hair frequently as black people, no, because it'll dry your hair out.
Right.
And so in a way to not dry your hair out, you put it in braids to protect your hair. But for a white person, that's a lot of work for you to just take it down a couple of days later and wash it.
Start slipping and things.
Yeah, and then also like braiding requires textured hair is best for braiding because it's thicker. It will the braiding pattern will just be tighter and things. So to braid white people's hair, it's a lot more work than is necessary. It's kind of like permanent black person hair. It's a lot more work than necessary.
Right.
So, but also, it is when they are doing the styles that are considered black.
Right.
So people be like, oh, well, they wear braids in Switzerland and all these cultures, but it's like the type of braids they wear are thick, chunky braids.
Right.
Like wrapped around their head, like a halo, things like that, which makes sense, which would be easier to do with naturally straight hair.
Right.
The type of braids that black women wear,
Or like
box braids, cornrows, things like that. No, not many cultures do that, or they don't do it in the way that we do it.
Right.
And then also when we do it, it's considered ghetto, all that nonsense, urban, all of that nonsense. And so then when white women do it, and it's also all of a sudden amazing, cool, fashionable, it's just like a slap in the face.
And also, like, there's still history behind the braids. You know, them putting patterns and things in the head for, you know, maps and directions and stuff like that.
For the Underground Railroad, correct. Slaves used to braid their hair,
Right, so it's not like, that braids were in the black culture just to be there, but they serve purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now we're not really using it for that purpose, but of course it still has that, you know, history behind it and things like that. And it's just like, you're just wearing your hair in braids just because you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not because you need to do it or it's necessary for you, just because you want to for some odd reason. That's how I feel about when they get locks. They got to do a whole bunch of extra stuff to get locks, and it doesn't look well.
I agree.
It looks a little tacky.
I did hear a good reason for some white people to get locks, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So locks, white people who got locks used to only be surfers, and the reason why they got them was because they said they used to go surfing all the time, right? And the salt water and stuff, it would do a lot of damage to their hair, dry their hair out and everything. And so instead of them trying to constantly try to like moisturize their hair and do all these things to their hair, when they're surfing all the time anyway, they just got locks, let their hair form in locks. So then they wouldn't have to worry about it, and they could continue to surf, you know, carefree or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, that makes sense. But some people who get them, I mean, again, like I said, it could be the same for you. Your hair wouldn't freeform into locks because you do have a looser texture.
Right.
So, I mean, for the white people, it's the same concept.
Right.
Are there other cultures that have locks? Like, I've never researched if people in Switzerland have locks for centuries. I don't know.
They could.
I know we do, for the most part, associated with Jamaica, and so we could just say we appropriate Jamaican culture.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, there could be other African cultures that do locks, but I haven't done my research.
But you know, they don't really they don't like to incorporate us in the African thing because we're American born. So they.
Who is that?
Some people.
Some people.
I can't be specific about the person who said it, you know, because multiple people say it.
It just depends. I mean, it's not our fault we're here, so
yeah.
We digress. And we still, even though black people here may be descendants of slaves, we still carry over some of those traditions and cultures from wherever we came to Africa. And then there's also all these Caribbean people who come over here and influence the culture too. So,
I seen this really good short film. It was about this girl who went to this boarding school, and she would wear her natural hair, and she was around a lot of white people, and she had a white friend who had like natural curly hair, but her friends loved her for her hair and everything like that. And this other lady came along who had wigs and stuff like that, and she told her like she kind of needed to change her name, change her hair to kind of fit into a black lady came, I don't think they were black, but came and told her she needs to like fit into this thing a certain way, kind of change her name and her hair, and she did it, but she didn't feel comfortable doing it, and things like that. And then eventually she came into her own, and she took that wig off and stood by her name and stood with her natural hair and things like that. And I was kind of watching an interview about the ladies who created it, and they said there's this thing behind African women in wigs and stuff like that, and wearing the wigs and kind of having this kind of, I guess, representation of themselves with the wigs and things like that. So
yeah. I mean, we went through the same thing here. Like black people used to always perm their hair, like perming little girls' hair from like as young as like 2 years old. Putting perms on little girls' hair for whatever reason. The idea was to make it more manageable, but the fact that like our hair has to be managed is a concept in and of itself. Instead of just basically learning how to appreciate the hair we have or dealing with the hair we have, we tried to like change it to make it more pleasing to not just us, but to also other outside cultures who actually don't care. Or who we shouldn't care if they care.
That's how I feel. I think it's really ridiculous how in some aspects some people see like maybe your hair or even my hair as unprofessional, or how they won't even let some children in school wear braids or locks and stuff. And I just think that's beyond me, that you won't let somebody wear a certain hairstyle that has absolutely no effect on your life.
White supremacy.
That is true. It's all about control.
Yeah, basically. It's all about control. Because it doesn't make sense. Because like you said, hair does not distract for education purposes or for business purposes. Like, it's not something that your company or your school should be worried about.
Right.
I know in some schools they said little girls can't wear beads on the end of their braids because they can be distracting. And in a way I could get it, but it's not like it's so distracting that the other kids can't focus. Therefore they slip behind and crazy. Now they're failing because this little black girl came to school with beads for 2 weeks.
Right.
No.
And me wearing locks in a workplace don't mean everybody just gonna be in a meeting just staring at my hair like this or anything like that.
And it's all about just essentially it is ignorance, right? When you don't know. A lot of people, when my brief stint into a lock journey, my friends asked me so many questions. And it was like, so how often can you wash it? People still think that locks are dirty, that you can't wash them. And I was like, you can wash them as frequently or as little as you want to. It's up to you. But it's based on ignorance. They think that our hair in its natural state, i.e. white people, some of them think that our hair in our natural state means it's unkempt and unclean.
Right.
Because their hair in its natural state is straight. And to them, it's clean. But it's just like, it's ignorance. Because we have to remember again, this country, we're only 15% of the country.
Right.
And there's like 60% white people, I believe. And a lot of them have never actually met black people in real life.
Only based off of what they see.
Yeah, and they're not going to watch our stuff that has primarily black people in it. They talk about black hair and things like that. So they just don't be knowing.
And they just be saying anything when they see us.
They be saying anything.
And touching on your hair, I think that's so rude. To be having your hands in my head and things like. If you genuinely want to know and you ask logical questions, then that's fine. But if you're like hands in my head and being weird about it, I think that's just so rude, and I don't like that at all.
Because it makes you feel like a puppy,
right?
Or an animal in the zoo, or a marvel, just something that's just so unusual that I have to touch you because I can't believe it's real. And it's like, it's just hair,
right?
You don't need to touch it. I understand it looks different. It looks fluffy and it is soft. I guarantee you that.
Yes.
But don't touch my hair.
Yes.
Because first of all, you don't touch a stranger.
Right.
You don't touch people you don't know. If you ask a pregnant woman, they'll say that one of their biggest pet peeves is when strangers walk up to them and touch their bellies. So it's basically, it's hella weird to touch someone because it's basically like, I don't know you, but I also don't care about your private space.
Right.
Because what's going on with you right now is so fascinating to me that I'm just going to touch you without asking.
Right.
And I just be like, don't touch me. I had a coworker. Oh, my homie. He was my homie. He's from Canada, 40-some-year-old white man. I still talk to him. Every time I change my hair, and I tell you, every time I change my hair, whoa, what is this? Can I touch it? No. Come on, no. And I've worked with him for 5 years, and I was like, sir, you've known me for 5 years. I've changed my hair numerous times. Braids, straight, short, curly, long, crochet hair, flat twist out, all the things. Every time.
And he was just fascinated every time.
Every time.
Wow.
And I was like, he's from Canada. There's probably like 5 black people in Canada. So I gave him grace, but never let him touch my hair. No, you're not gonna touch my hair. It's just hair. And it's next. Do I ever ask you to touch your hair? No.
You want to know something I always get that I don't understand for the life of me? What do you mix with? I'm just black. Because you know I had naturally curly hair. Well, what do you mix with? I'm just black. I'm not mixed with anything.
You know where that comes from?
Where?
White supremacy. And I only say that it's because the idea that.
But wait, let me say this real quick. It even leaks into the black community though, because even black people was asking me, "What am I mixed with?"
Black people are the only people who have ever asked me that.
Oh, what do you mix with?
Yes, I've never had a white person ask me, "What do you mix with?" And the reason why is because to them, black people are just black people. But black people have internalized stereotypes about ourselves, and kind of low key be oppressing ourselves. And the idea that our hair, black people or African textured hair, is so undesirable that if you have a looser texture, curlier texture hair, you must be mixed with something. But then you be like, no, everybody black for us. I can tell.
Hello?
Somebody way back.
You got Indian in your family? I don't know, but that don't matter. Majority of my family is black, so
black.
Why is that a thing?
And that's the thing that people used to do to try to distinguish themselves, to say, oh, I'm not like them blacks, I got Indian in my family. Or I'm, I got good hair, light skin, or whatever reason, because they trying to show that they're not like those blacks.
Right.
Which is just down the line a tool of white supremacy.
And see, that's the thing, like, within the black community, like, it's so, like, it's so many different, like, hair textures and grades of hair, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So just because you made some black people come with naturally straight hair, where their hair is just naturally straight, and some come with naturally curly hair, some a little kinkier, you know what I'm saying. It all depends on, you know, your genetics and things like that. That's the biggest thing. We can't control the kind of hair that we get. The same with, go check out our podcast on colorism. Yes, check that out on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcast avenues. Check it out. But kind of what we talked about with colorism, you kind of can't control the kind of grade of hair that you get.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when people be like, oh, what do you mix with, stuff like that, it's just like, I'm black, but you know, hair can come in different forms, especially based on your genetics. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it also goes along with ignorance. You just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. Because we don't know all the cultures that are in Africa, all the tribes and the different types of hair. Like if you look up people in Papua New Guinea, you be like, oh snap. They have light colored eyes. Sometimes they have blue eyes, green eyes, and they also have a straighter texture hair, and they have blonde hair. It is what it is.
Right.
But if you go by what the media tells you, everybody just dark skin, brown eyes, and kinky hair. And it's not true. We don't know where all these people come from. It's like, if you didn't know this, there are like really dark skinned Indians, but you'll never see them on TV. And you'll rarely see them here because India also has a caste system, and they also have racist color systems in place. But it's like every culture has darker skinned people. Just like Asians, there are darker skinned Asians. They're mistreated too because racism. And there are darker skinned white people. Those are the Italians. They're the darker skinned white people, and they used to be mistreated when they first came over here. So it's nothing new. We all come in shades. We're literally not the same shade.
We're not.
Even white people, there's variations of white.
I think because so long, what the media pushes and what we have become accustomed to seeing, that we think that's what it is and that's it. You know, and we don't think about, like you said, the variations of different kind of peoples and things that different cultures produce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially because we don't know the starting point of it all, the genetics, the lineage, because it's just so far gone that it's really hard to really pinpoint any of where it all comes from. You know what I'm saying? So it's different.
Yeah, and that's why the 23andMe and Ancestry.com kind of blew up, because people really did want to know like what was all back in their lineage. Because some people can't trace it. Some people, i.e. black people, can't trace their true lineage. You got anything else?
So like, I guess the last thing is products. There's a whole bunch of different things with products. Like, I think a lot of people are moving.
There's so many, so I keep going though.
It's a whole bunch of different kind of products and things like that. I guess I see a lot of people trying to go with more natural products that don't, like, especially with like shampoo and stuff, because you don't want the stuff to strip your natural hair moisture, your natural oils and things like that. I think a lot of people are moving more so towards the natural products that don't have all that kind of stuff that can damage your hair and things like that.
Sulfates and laurates and dimetacones and all the cones and things. Yes, that's what they're trying to do. I gave up caring. Real talk, I gave up caring. In some regards, I get it because that stuff does go in your body, chemicals. And then in other regards, I'm just like, I gotta wash my hair. And it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Because the more natural the product is, the more expensive it tends to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just like, I gotta wash my hair.
Mm-hmm.
There are some products that I like as far as like helping me get the desired style. Mm-hmm. Which one I recommend all the time to people is the Doux, Doux. Mm-hmm. It's by this lady named Maya Washington, I think her name is. It's a black-owned product, and she has a mousse called Mousse Def, and I love it. Been using it for years. That's why I got this cute curly texture you see if you watching on YouTube, because her products work really well, and it's like a moisturizing conditioner, a conditioning mousse is what it is. And then, I tried some other products. I'm not going to shout out this other one because the owner of the product is not a nice person.
Nope.
Even though her products are good, she is a terrible human being.
Oh, wow.
She be arguing with people on the internet. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But I was like, man, I'm mad that she sucks.
I know that's the crazy part.
But more so, my goal now is to just support black-owned products more so than ones that got shea butter and cocoa butter and mango butter and all the butters in it.
And I think that's the craziest thing. I actually like the kind of exposing that's going on with the whole 2020. It's kind of good. I think it's crazy that a lot of the black products that we use aren't even produced and owned by black people.
Yeah.
Cantu Top, and it's not even black owned.
Because what most likely happened, it may have been created by a black person and then sold. Like African Pride was it African Pride? Yes, African Pride was created by black people, sold, and then bought back. Nope, not bought back. It's owned by like an Indian person, Indian man.
Right.
But the Indian man now like has a bunch of black people that work for him, but still. So that's what's happening. It's like the Main Choice. Courtney started the Main Choice, black owned. Then she sold it to this company, so it's no longer black owned. So it's like, do you still want to support because it was black owned?
We need to stop selling our stuff.
That's what I say.
Oh my gosh.
I digress.
This off topic, but I was so mad at Nick Cannon. I cannot believe he did not have ownership of Wild and Out. He dropped that bag.
Oh my gosh.
That's $1 billion show and you did not have ownership of it?
And the amazing thing about that is the fact that he didn't have ownership of it. It's like you could have left Viacom, took your Wild and Out with you and put it anywhere.
In your own network, matter of fact.
Your own network.
Lord.
Yikes.
I was
and
like,
he did a lot of shows with Viacom. He owned none of them.
None. $1 billion. I was like, oh my God.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see
y'all, please stop giving up y'all stuff so quick for some money. Oh my God. That's why, okay, y'all, this is so totally off topic, but I cannot think of her name. It's like Mikhail, something with a C. She was one of the lead actresses in Chewing Gum, and she just made her show I May Destroy You.
Michaela, yeah.
I love what she did. Netflix offered her some money, $1 million deal.
Just to buy her show, but no
she said no. Yep, she said nope. And I'm glad she was able to walk away and she knew her worth.
She ended up selling it, well not selling it, but working on the show with HBO.
No, she worked with BBC first. And then HBO jumped on the bandwagon, and she has rights and she has full creativity.
That's what Tyler Perry with BET. BET gave Tyler Perry $280 million to make content for BET. But he owns all the rights. So his contract is up with BET. He can take all his little shows and do whatever he wants. He can make them syndicated on other channels. He can start his own streaming platform.
I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
And he was going to, and then BET was like, wait, before you do that,
come here.
Come.
And Viacom on BET too.
Because guess what?
The
black
man
sold it
for $1 billion.
And now BET is, no one watches BET. Well, someone watches BET, but BET could have been so much more. This did go off to a rant, but I'm gonna say this part. We can go back to hair.
Okay.
Because I saw something on Twitter, and I was like, yes. They were like, BET could have been so much more. We could have had black HGTV. We could have had black sports streaming for HBCUs. We could have had BET Sports streaming all the HBCU sports. We could have had BET, HGTV, BET fashion shows, quality reality TV shows. We could have had cooking shows.
Everything.
We could have had all the things. But that man did not have vision, and he sold BET to Viacom.
Sold it. That's how I feel with TV1. TV1 with Viacom too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe it's VH1, BET, MTV. I believe TV1 with Viacom.
I don't know.
Don't quote me on that one, but TV1.
Both our phones are over here, so we can't even look
Yeah.
it up.
But TV1's supposed to be black too.
It is.
I don't know if black people own it or not. I don't think so. I think that's under
I
Viacom.
don't think so. TV1 is better than BET though. There's also Oprah owns OWN.
Yeah. But
and
do
then
people
Bounce.
watch that?
Yes.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, some.
Okay.
Then there's Bounce. Bounce be on the regular TV. That's black owned.
I did stumble upon Urban Movie Channel, UMC.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's black owned.
Yeah, that's black owned. Yeah.
They had my dad was watching that show Monogamy.
No, I heard about it. I mean,
It actually was pretty decent.
it was decent. Okay.
I was like, what is happening? What is happening? But back to hair. What were we saying?
I don't even know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Don't
Let's
sell
talk
your
about
stuff,
product. Yeah, don't sell your stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. Just don't sell your stuff. Keep your ownership.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
your
we were
rights.
talking about products. So this is the thing about being natural that people don't tell you. People, the advertisement for being natural was, you should go natural. It'll be so much easier. It'll be better for your hair and stuff. But what they didn't tell people was, you're also gonna have to buy 45,000 products to make your hair do what it wants.
Right.
Unless it's literally like, unless you want to walk around in your literal natural texture, however your hair dries, unless you want to walk around like that, you're gonna need all the curling creams, the butters, the oils, the mousses,
The sprays.
the sprays, the miracle drops, all the things.
Yes.
And so that's what people didn't tell you. So being natural can be expensive. But one of the things I did was just cut out all of that. I just shampoo my hair, condition it, put in like a conditioner and a mousse, a leave-in conditioner and a mousse. But yeah, if you try to do like all the butters and things and all of that stuff, you end up having product buildup.
Yeah.
And now your hair is way down and heavy and your scalp can't breathe. You use 45,000 products to try to maintain a good little twist out. So yeah.
That's what I would say. I would say just try to fall in love with your natural state of hair, because you can only control it so much. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really control the weather. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what the weather would do to your hair. The humidity, the rain, the heat, the wind.
That's one of the reasons why I do like being natural, because being in Houston, child, trying to maintain a straight hairstyle was for the birds.
You can forget that.
You walk outside, your little curls and went limp. Oh, struggle.
Yes.
But now, it's raining outside, I ain't got nothing to worry about. It just makes my hair fluffier, and fluffy natural hair looks pretty.
Yes. So yeah, fall in love with your natural state of hair. Try to, manipulate it a little bit. So if it does react to the weather conditions outside, that is you're still comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's all about being comfortable and moving away from like we said, the stigmas and the stereotypes that come with the hair. I think that's what really paralyzes a person with enjoying the natural hair, because it's seen as, like you said, unkept or wild or doesn't look presentable. You know what I'm saying? When it really is, it's just, like you said, people's ignorance and this idea about what professional, unprofessional hair is and things like that. That, y'all, all of that is false. It's inaccurate.
Falsities and lies.
Lies. Don't let people deceive you into thinking something wrong with your hair. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
The struggle of living in this country is that, unfortunately, most of the jobs are owned by white people who don't actually know black people, or who have misconceived notions about black people. So in some regards, if you have to do something to get a job or maintain your job for your sanity, do it. Do it. If you gotta get a wig just so the people don't try to touch your hair every day at work, do it, sis. Wear your natural hair on the weekends, or when you out with your homegirls at brunch, but for your sanity, if you gotta do a wig, do it. But just try to do what's best for you, and don't try to feel so much pressure to conform.
And I think that's the sucky part about it, is that we're forced to conform to their perspectives on what hair should look like when we can't just do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, my worth ethic and my professionalism is not defined by my hair, and it sucks that that it's kind of put into that box that if my hair is not a certain way, that I'm unprofessional, instead of looking at my worth ethics and my accolades that I have on my resume and the experience that I have, and that
White supremacy is not logical.
Yep.
Yep. It is not logical.
They not open-minded. They very closed in the box and things like that. And that's annoying.
Yes it is. Yes it is. That's why some people move away. Some black folk be like, I ain't gotta do this. I'm going with a black sock.
Right.
So they decide to go back to somewhere in Africa. Well, not go back to. They decide to move to somewhere in Africa, somewhere in the Caribbean, or shoot, move to Atlanta.
LOL.
Move to where black is the majority. You ain't got no problems. I know being in Kenya, it was just so nice. It just, all the black faces. It was just everywhere. It was beautiful. It felt so comfortable.
Right.
I loved it.
It's crazy that we feel so uncomfortable in a place that it feels so uncomfortable here, and it shouldn't be like that.
I don't feel uncomfortable here.
But not as comfortable as we should be able to feel.
That is correct. That is correct.
I haven't had any encounters with my hair and any kind of stereotypes really, besides asking if I'm mixed or anything like that. With the career path that I'm trying to take, I am a little nervous that I may run into that a little bit.
Get you a wig, sis.
Oh. I'm not against wearing wigs and things like that. It's just, with wigs, I look too manly. I've worn wigs before and I just don't.
It's because you've probably worn bad wigs before.
You put my wig in and I looked crazy. That was a terrible wig you did. Remember you did that somewhere for my graduation?
I told you I could do it. I said I was going to be a beautiful. And also, you look manly. You look cute. You just have to wear a hat at all times.
Sorry, y'all. Memory lane moment. Yeah. So with my locks, I haven't really had any encounters, anything like that, especially because I've been in the house. I haven't went nowhere.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. But like I said, my career path, I wonder, like, am I gonna run into any of those kind of things? You know what I'm saying?
You're actually less likely to run into it with where you're going. But some things require you to change your hair, so you gotta be willing to do it. But we'll see. Nothing to worry about until you get there.
Yeah, because I actually have one last thing. I actually have seen like videos where black women have addressed the inability for white hairstylists to maintain their black hair, like in the modeling industry and things like that. And that's why we kind of are like making a push and a call for more black people to get into these industries, because we know how to handle and deal with like the lighting. Like, oh my gosh, Simone Biles and that terrible lighting with her whole photo shoot and things like that. And dealing with our hair, weaves, and braiding it, maintaining it, and things like that. I also think that's important and different in those kind of industries to have that, connection.
Yep. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Hey Sissy Podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube or any of the podcast platforms. You can always email us ideas. Even though the people email us,
yeah, I don't even be checking the email. But still email us, you guys, at heysissypodcast@gmail.com.
heysissypodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hey Sissy Podcast. We're done here. Thank you for calling. Thank you for watching and listening.
Be breezy. They be calling us?
No.